Last year's Padres captured the hearts of an entire city, putting together a playoff run that no one in Southern California will soon forget. And it all started in the Big Apple.
They are moving on to the NLDS to face the Dodgers, and it is party time here in New York.
Then came that dragon up north.
What does this mean to you to lead this team to the NLCS?
You know what? I feel great for the city of San Diego because they showed up these last two games and really inspired us to win. It was like an avalanche there at the end.
I mean, this is awesome, man. This is what the city's been waiting for a long time, especially the Dodgers. What does that say about this squad?
We're relentless, man. We don't stop.
Friars are now tied with Philly at 1 game apiece in the National League Championship Series, which heads now to Philadelphia.
It was off to the city of brotherly love.
Who of course caught fire at the right time. All right. Let me move out a little bit.
Flores ready. Here's the pitch. And Harper swings, hits it in the air to deep left field. Profar's going back. He's looking up. This one's going to go.
And the Phillies have the National League Championship. They have beaten the Padres 4-3, and they celebrate on their home turf.
It's never easy losing, but I feel like this team was so special this year. The things that we did to get to this point, the adversity that we overcame.
We expected to go farther, so it's disappointing.
The Padres season came to a crashing halt on a cold and windy night at Citizens Bank Park. But it was an incredible run by this team that they should be incredibly proud of.
Our Friars came up just short a year ago, but now spring has sprung and hope is eternal. This is one of the most anticipated years in franchise history, and we're getting you all set for the new season from spring training. Welcome to the San Diego Padres 2023.
Have you ever entered a season with this much anticipation?
I can say probably not. I mean, it's pretty cool to see, and what we saw in Fan Fest, and just kind of the build-up, whether it's the players, whether it's what you're reading, certainly the feel in San Diego. It's really cool. I don't know that I've had more so-called star players. We have a lot of star players here. We seem to bring another one in every few weeks or so.
Is there an excitement around it? Do you still get that buzz, that feeling?
No, it always it's actually before. Super Bowl is always kind of a, after this game, and now it's all about baseball. Everybody looks forward to spring training, and we haven't had full spring trainings here in past years, so yeah, very excited.
Yesterday was day 2 of Padres spring training and day 1 of clubhouse access for us in the media, and it really felt like a pretty full clubhouse already. I mean, a lot of people are here for the World Baseball Classic, but people that weren't even required to report yet already checking in here in Peoria, and we got a chance to catch up with some of them.
One of the most exciting springs I've come to. Just excitement from last year, the couple new faces in the locker room, chance to make a real run at this thing again. It's going to be exciting.
From a mentality standpoint, it's, let's rock and roll, right?
It feels great. A lot of new faces. It feels very nice so far.
Been here about a week already. Just trying to get to know everyone, just trying to get used to being in a different environment. So far, it's been good. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to meet everyone at the same time, so it can be a little overwhelming, but so far it's been great.
If there's anything that you always look forward to a season, it's always, you obviously want to win first, but I think, the memories are made with the group that you have and the closeness that we've created over the last year. I think it's going to be a really fun year.
I mean, we were really dangerous with the lineup that we have, and now adding more offense is going to be really fun and more excited to be part of it.
It's exciting to be back, especially with the year that we had last year and somehow upgrading our roster, adding some big dudes, and it's going to be exciting, man. I'm pumped to see the guys in here.
I think everybody in here is confident and knows what we can achieve. And I think everybody's comfortable in their own skin.
Part of it's just kind of knowing what we're getting into when we go home and play games. Right away it's going to be sold out games throughout the whole season, midweek, weekends, and that gets you up a lot for games.
Everyone in this clubhouse, whether they're fighting for a spot or not, want to win a World Series, and so we want to do that together.
A few days after arriving at spring training, the talk of the town was about one thing and all about one man.
In February of 2019, Manny Machado signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with the San Diego Padres, at the time the largest free agent contract in North American sports history. It was also a deal that seemingly would have kept Manny Machado in a Padres uniform throughout the rest of his career, but in that deal was an opt-out after 5 years, and earlier in camp, Machado said he would indeed exercise that opt-out, which now puts the future of the Friars slugger in question.
Business is business. Business is business. There's no hard feelings. We're gonna go move forward, and I'm gonna go out there and play baseball, perform, and that's my job and that's my duty. And like I've always said, it's about the fans going out there and performing and bringing a championship to the city.
I would never knock anybody for taking a move to get more money and support their family. So I would love to have him here. I hope he sticks around. I hope we get something worked out.
And just over a week later, Joe Musgrove's hopes became reality.
Massive breaking news that every Friar fan wanted to hear came in this morning a little after 7 a.m. Reports are that Manny Machado and the Padres are finalizing an 11-year, $350 million extension to keep the San Diego Slugger in America's finest city through what should be the rest of his career.
Today, we gather to celebrate the new 11-year contract for the unquestioned leader of the San Diego Padres, superstar third baseman Manny Machado.
I think Peter made it clear, AJ made it clear that I was a priority. So they know that we love this organization, we love this city, we love the fans, we love putting on this uniform every single day. So in my mind, I was always going to be a Padre. It was just a matter of when I was going to be one for the rest of my career. But ultimately, we knew that we didn't want to go anywhere. We knew we wanted to put on this uniform for the rest of our career.
It's a big thing for us to know that we're going to be able to show up at Petco Park and see this man, this superstar, play for us for the next 11 years and maybe beyond. Man, he's a young man.
It's a great day to be a Padre, and it's a promising future for this organization.
Well, we have heard it time and time again. How long can the Padres possibly keep this up? How much money do the Friars really have? In fact, San Diego has been criticized by other owners around the league. The commissioner of baseball said the trick for small market teams is sustainability. Sustainability, a word Chairman Peter Seidler is not a fan of.
People love that word. Yeah. Let's find a different one. Do I believe our parade is going to be on land or on water or on both?
Putting a great and winning team on the field in San Diego year after year is sustainable.
If people want to talk about sustainability of this roster and how far it could go, is there sustainability to it, or is it, hey, we're going to build the best roster we can and deal with the rest later?
We've been a team here the last few years that has been very competitive, and we've got a good blend of veteran players. We've got a lot of our key players under contract. It's not unlimited resources. It's not an unlimited budget, and there's a plan and a process to what we're doing.
We have a very sports-oriented and hungry fan base, and we believe if we continue to build that trust, they will continue to come.
We've come into camp expecting to have a team that's capable of playing deep into October with the ultimate goal of winning the World Series.
1 year soon, the baseball gods will smile on the San Diego Padres, and we will have a parade.
Bob said it with a fist. This year is about the World Championship.
When I was moseying around the backfields today, I ran into a guy that knows a whole lot about Padres baseball, and successful Padres baseball at that. The closer himself, Mr. Trevor Hoffman. First of all, have you ever been around a roster like this entering a spring training, Trevor?
I'd like to say I have, but this is almost like walking into an all-star game. I mean, the names are there's such clout, and great people too. But no, this is really exciting times to be in Padre organization.
You've been with this organization for a long time. Has there ever been this much anticipation heading into a season that you can remember?
I don't think so. And the fact that they did so well last year, that expectation level goes up, and then everybody gets to come back and add some pieces like Xander behind us. It's really something special. It's great to be a part of.
I guess maybe the one knock from the outside people want to take is that the back end of the starting rotation, people are still questioning. What do you think about the back end of that starting rotation? And the Padres have addressed that with Michael and people.
I think we're nitpicking a little bit, to be honest with you. The fact that they're already going to go 6-man rotation, or talking about it, shows some depth, and there's going to be some competition in spring training.
Were you able to see FanFest?
Yeah.
You saw this, the anticipation built up, the fans everywhere, people here right now. I mean, what is this city ready for this? I mean, what are the fans like for you?
I'm excited to watch the city just explode. It's going to be amazing. And I hope everybody had a good time at FanFest. I know it was kind of crazy, and it's put that many people in the space where they're not sitting down, but they're wandering around and trying to get autographs and pictures and things like that. It was something special, but that excitement's real in town, and I'm telling you, from pitch one on opening day all the way through the season is going to be a great ride.
Is this a World Series or bust team? I mean, where do you feel that's at?
I think that's the goal. You know, every year it's got to be that. And regardless of what the rosters look like in the past, it's like anytime you put the uniform on, your goal is to win a World Series.
Well, if you're a Padres fan and you're on social media, you've probably already seen the videos, right? A snapshot, a sneak preview into the personality and lifestyles of our Padre players. And it's all brought to you by a question or a riddle and a mini mic.
This has to be the cutest microphone I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, we got the little mic.
Check.
Let's go.
Some of those guys love being on there.
Been a while, but I'm back. What's good?
Some guys are quick in passing.
Summertime.
Everyone kind of has their own style.
I don't really use emojis.
They're all funny, man. I mean, I think just overall, seeing the guys just interact with those is pretty cool.
I'd say my favorite season would be hunting season.
I know my family back home always loves it, and the fans, from what I've heard, they get really excited to see all those little things. So it's funny to do, funny to answer those questions. So I guess we'll keep it up.
What's yours, but mostly used by others? Still my personality.
For the fans to see that kind of personality from us, it's a different look for them.
Baseball season all day.
Always laughing, so the laughing one. Laughing face.
Those are great, man. I love those.
I mean, World Series would be nice.
We can be a little closed off and kind of get so routine oriented that we're so hyper focused and doing what we want and kind of get in and get out.
Baseball season. How about spring training?
Our PR team and media team do a really good job of kind of showing that side of us.
4th of July. Love it.
It's good to see what everyone has to answer, especially if you put milk in your cereal. You're kind of weird.
Why?
Because you can't pour in the milk and then pour your cereal in.
Why not?
You gotta pour the cereal in, then pour the milk where the cereal might overflow a little bit.
Who pours milk first?
No.
Yeah. Cereal first.
You've been granted 3 wishes. What are your wishes?
That the Padres win the World Series this year, baby. Let's go.
Peace, happiness, and love.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's a fan, see a little bit of everybody.
Well, major rule changes are making their way to MLB, and it should make a major impact on the game you watch. First of all, and most noticeable, will be the pitch clock, making the players on the mound work faster. Bases will increase in size. We'll see how that affects stealing and base running in general. And finally, no more defensive shifts in MLB. All of this coming in an effort to speed up the game and increase the action.
Are you getting a feel for these changes, and what do you think about them?
I'll stay away from what I think about them, and it's a lot, but I understand the reason for them, and we're getting a handle on them.
Honestly, to be honest, completely honest with you and transparent, I have no idea what the new changes are.
Oh, don't you worry, Manny. You're not alone. That's why we're here to break down the 3 most impactful rule changes to hit MLB this year.
I know there's no shifts. There's going to be a play clock. I don't know how's that going to look.
That's right, no more infield shifts, a new pitch clock, and as Manny put it, play clock because it affects the batter too, and larger bases. Let's begin with the biggest change, the pitch clock.
We had the pitch clock in the minor leagues, and I kind of liked it. It made the games a little faster, pick up the pace a little bit, not too much waiting around.
After being tested in the minors, this will be the first year MLB adopts a true pitch clock. After receiving the ball from the catcher or umpire, a pitcher must begin their motion within 15 seconds with no runners on and 20 seconds with runners on.
It's
Speed up the game, probably. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes in spring training. It's a lot of different stuff, but we'll get a handle on it.
I think the pitch clock itself will kind of restore the game to the pace that we all sort of expected it to be at. It's gotten much longer the last few years. I think the game will just sort of look like the game that most of us grew up with.
If the pitcher does not begin their motion in the allotted time, an automatic ball will be awarded to the hitter.
You look in July, August, no one's going to be thinking twice about it. It's going to kind of be second nature. Everyone will be used to it. So there is going to be an adjustment period and a little bit of that transition, struggle, but finding ways. We've been talking for months now about, ways to kind of get around some of the things or ways to, have it benefit us and not the hitters.
And the pitchers can indeed have it benefit them. This rule also impacts the hitters, who must be in the batter's box and alert with 8 seconds left on the pitch clock, or they will be penalized with an automatic strike.
To pick up that tempo a little bit, I work kind of fast already, so I think that would be more for an advantage for me.
The issues will come when it's late in games, you got guys on base, you're shaking off a catcher, you've already used an engagement, engagement of the rubber. Those are where the issues are going to come in. And I think the hitters, at least to begin with, from what I've heard from our coaches in development, the hitters, it's more of a acclimation than the pitchers really.
In addition to the new constraints with the clock, pitchers are now also limited on the amount of times they can step off the rubber in an at-bat.
The pickoffs, only being able to pick off twice or step off twice, is something that we're going to have to work on, and so implementing a slide step to kind of combat that.
Players on the mound get 2 disengagements per an at-bat without penalty. Stepping off a third time will result in a balk, unless an out is recorded on the base paths, like a successful pickoff.
I think we're all big leaguers, and I think this game we all have to adjust to it, right? And everybody's playing by the same rules, so just gotta, obviously take this time in spring and really get used to it, and just go forward with it.
As for the shift, 2 infielders must be on each side of second base, and all 4 infielders must have their feet in the dirt when the pitcher is on the rubber. Outfielders can still go where they like, and infielders can still shade one way or another, as long as they're within the aforementioned parameters.
Talking to Manny today, and he said it feels like you guys have 4 shortstops in the infield. With the shift being banned, how important is it to have that athleticism around your infield?
No doubt, and we do, and that's part of the equation. I'm sure that when the roster was put together, so guys are going to have to move around, and it's going to be a little different. Going from shortstop to another position is easier than going from a position to shortstop.
I think teams are still going to manipulate and get those guys where they want them in certain holes, but obviously not being able to move on either side of the base is going to make somewhat of a difference.
Finally, the base sizes, which have increased from 15 inches square to 18 inches square. Home plate remains the same. This reduces the distance from first to second and second to third by 4.5 inches, and the distance from home to first and third to home by 3 inches.
That one was kind of weird because it was easier to run on the other bases, easier to get more momentum, but everyone likes bigger bases, it's easier to touch and slide into now.
I'm definitely going to challenge myself on the base pass, bigger bases or not, but I'm excited to see just kind of how it pans out.
I really think stolen bases could go crazy this year. I don't know that we'll see that in spring training, but once the regular season begins, you got to figure, at least at the beginning, teams are going to try and run wild and see if they can take advantage of that. So it could be a very different looking game.
And finally, we leave you with the best of the rest. We get so much great sound and action out here at spring training, but a lot of times it hits the cutting room floor, as they say. Never gets to make air because of time constraints, but the beauty of these long format shows is we get to bring it all to you.
One of the reasons why I decided to come here was that, we had the chance to win the World Series. That's my goal. So that's what we're looking for.
It seems to be the talk of all of baseball, is the expectations for this team going into this season. Have you ever seen it, at least for a Padres team, with expectations this high?
No, it feels like each of the last 3 years probably it's been the most anticipation we've ever seen, and that's just grown and grown and grown. And that's what happens when you make it all the way to the National League Championship Series the next season, especially when you add a guy like Xander Bogaerts, when you kind of fortify the team the way they have, that you're getting Fernando back. All of those things just add to that anticipation, and it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun around here.
And this is an incredible team that we put together, and I'm excited to see, obviously, to grind with these guys and see what we can accomplish.
I believe we have a great chance to go after that trophy and to deliver to San Diego its first parade, and with a great deal of seriousness and humility, but the overall theme is we're here to win a title.
This is not a roster that was put together to just win 90 games. This was a roster that was put together. This is a team that expects to be contending for a World Series championship.
You can't not look around this locker room and be really excited for what's to come and to be a part of it. And
See where this organization's come. It's definitely something that we're grateful to be a part of. We've seen the change. We're part of the change, and we brought this organization to the highs, and we're not going to stop until we bring a championship, and that's what the city's been waiting for, and we're going to continue to do that. We got a great team this year, and we just got to try to do everything possible to come together as a group and get further than we did last year.
The fans are amazing in San Diego. We saw it last year, and it's even more this year. I'm excited to get out there and just hear the crowd and feel it shake a little bit.
I never doubt about all those fans. Since last year, they've been showing up and doing everything for me. So I think whenever we get there, it's going to be really fun and it's going to be really electric.
It's as good as it gets right now. It really is. There's nowhere else I think any of us would rather be than with the Padres in this moment in time. This is going to be, hopefully, when all is said and done, the best stretch of Padre baseball that's ever happened.
Thank you for joining us at spring training and a preview of Padres 2023. Enjoy the season. We'll see you at Petco Park.